Apparently, the fascists are coming for me. Welcome to the Jason Rantz Show, presented by None Better Tax Resolution. If you listen to activists and politicians amplified by left-wing media outlets, you would think the LGBT community is in danger, and it's going to stir up left-wing violence. Claim after claim is that the right is coming after gays and transgender Americans, trying to stop their mere existence. It's a kind of dramatic, over-the-top language that you'd expect from some whiny Generation Z kid who just loves to play victim. But it takes on a special meaning when it's amplified by the media. This ABC News story has the audacity to use a simply unhinged quote to frame a story around laws banning gender reassignment surgery and dangerous puberty blockers on minors. And stories are now filled with parents talking about their transgender toddlers. Toddlers who aren't trans. They're merely human props for parents to parade around in rainbow dresses so they can say that they're fighting a struggle for survival on behalf of that kid. 3-year-olds aren't transgender. They have no concept for that. But what we're pretending otherwise, well, because it allows media outlets to frame the laws around far-left gender ideology, one with which they agree with. For 2 years, we've been told it's genocidal to say no to biological men competing against women. That someone supporting basic fairness in sports is somehow a sin against the trans community, akin to systemically slaughtering them. And as a small group of very vocal, radical left activists are amplified by the media, it's not having the effect that they intend to have. You see, they highlight these stories to humanize someone, to create a sympathetic character for us to stand behind. But it's just highlighting how absurd and dangerous their position is. So Gallup just released a major new poll around Americans' acceptance of trans athletes competing against opposite biological genders. To the radical left's surprise, 69% of adults say trans athletes should only be allowed to compete against those who share their biological sex. NBC frames it around their sex assigned at birth as if you're assigned a sex at random. 69%. And that's 7 points higher than when adults were asked in 2021 after 2 years of nonstop PR on behalf of trans athletes. That number is so high because 67% of independents share the view. Nearly 50% of Democrats do as well. They're barely winning over their own side. But what's most interesting is that if someone knows a trans person, they're actually more likely to say that that person should compete against the same biological sex. That's up 11 points since 2021. And I'm willing to bet that it's due to them knowing how much more physical they are compared to the gender that they're identifying as. Americans and the Republicans, we're on the right side of this. And all the talk about genocide, all that does is rile up activists to turn to violence. Because wouldn't you if you were told there's a genocide being committed against you?
Jason Rantz here with Greg Nunn, your local tax expert and advocate. Greg, thank you so much for coming on.
Hey, Jason, great to be with you again and talk about these tax issues.
Okay, so why should anyone in trouble with the IRS contact you immediately?
The sooner the better, because it's so much easier to deal with an IRS situation at the beginning than when you're getting toward the end and they're getting very aggressive. And at the same time, it takes that pressure off of you sooner and gives you that peace of mind that, hey, no more fear of going to the mailbox because I'm here helping you.
So by connecting with you, can you assure people that they won't have the IRS on their doorstep or calling them nonstop?
When you have representation, you definitely do not want to talk to the IRS ever, and you don't have to. You are protected by statute, by law, that when you have representation, they have to deal with your representative. And I am acting in your best interest when I'm dealing with the IRS, and I tell you, you don't want to talk to them, it'll just stress you out.
Greg, thank you so much. That was really, really helpful.
Hey, it's my pleasure, and I just really hope that what I've said helps some people that are in tax difficulty.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, then call Greg Nunn. Greg might be able to negotiate a settlement for up to 85% off the original amount owed, including penalties and interest. Call Greg Nunn today. Did you like this video? We have a whole lot more over at ktth.com.